Hello, my name's David Norris, Training Director of SWAT UK. Welcome to our YouTube channel where we're going to do a little video now on micro entities. I do find as I talk to firms, very few are thinking about micro entities. Now, there could be lots of reasons why you would choose not to adopt the micro entity regime, but I think as a firm, as an advisor to clients, you just need an awareness. So why aren't I offering this? Is there a good reason? To refresh you of the rules, remember there's a turnover threshold. Turnover must be no more than 632,000. Gross assets must be no more than 316,000. Employees must be no more than 10. And you need to hit 2 out of 3 of those rules 2 years running to qualify as a micro entity. So let's say you are a micro entity. Quick reminder then, what's the accounting? Well, I need an accounting framework. So at the moment, I'd look to the FRSY 08. Next year I'm going to look to the FRSY 15, and then I'm going to look to the new FRS 105. So I have an accounting framework, and essentially it's the same as other small companies, except for no revaluations, no fair values in a micro entity. So instantly you might be thinking that's not applicable for my property investment companies where all the fixed assets, all the investment properties are going to have to be at cost. Anyway, you've worked out sales, you've agreed the fixed assets and all the other assets and liabilities, you've prepared the micro accounts. What do they look like? They look like a profit and loss and balance sheet and very little else. There are no notes to the accounts for micro entities, just a little bit of disclosure on the bottom of the balance sheet about overdrawn directors' loan accounts essentially. So very simple sets of accounts. So your client doesn't like related party disclosure, great, it's not in a micro set of accounts. So your client comes in, your client company is suffering financially and says to you, what shall I do? What kind of set of accounts are you going to prepare? I meet a lot of firms who go straight for standard FRSY sets of accounts. That could be 11, 12 pages long, and then potentially you add abbreviated accounts on top. You've done all that work, whereas actually your client could have been a micro entity. Their accounts could have been 2 pages. Oh, and what about the going concern issues if your client is suffering financially? In your FRSY sets of accounts, you should include going concern disclosure, confirming that there are material uncertainties. What about the micro set of accounts? And this is one of the key differences. In a micro set of accounts, you follow the rules, they're deemed to give a true and fair view. So I don't have to put any going concern disclosure in my micro entity, and yet it gives a true and fair view. So if I'm your client, I might be saying, well, I've got financial problems. I've got an overdraft I'm struggling to service. I've got creditors breathing down my neck. And yet you prepared a 12-page FRSY set of accounts, a 4-page abbreviated set of accounts, whereas you could have prepared a 2-page micro set of accounts. Why'd you do that? Now your answer might be, well, I've got to do so much work to get the numbers right, it makes no difference. It's just touch of a button stuff. For practice assurance and other reasons, I want to have a file that shows where the numbers come from. I've got to get the tax right. So I'm doing enough analysis, checking, and general quality control that it really makes no difference to your accountancy fee and your tax fee, whether it's micro or small companies. And that might be something that you're thinking, even as you're sat there watching this, thinking, wow, it's the same amount of work, it's just the disclosure is less. Okay, so you've got some valid points, but have you told your client? Let's just be a little bit careful if we've got any potential micro entities, perhaps especially when we're looking at FRS 102 going forward and thinking, do I really want to transition my small companies through to this new standard? Might it be better if I can to make them micro entities? So micro entities, very few firms deal with them, but there is potential to save a certain amount of paper, and that might make your clients happier. But it's a difficult decision, and communication with the client will ensure the client is happy and knows why you've made the decisions you have. Thank you very much. That's all for this session. I'm sure you'll find more information on our website, and the YouTube channel will try and keep it updated regularly. Thank you very much.